The album is Everything I Love. He is a CCMA Single of the Year for They Don't Make Them
Like That anymore. That's right.
Jason Blaine.
Longest title.
So now you're playing here at the Boots and Hearts Festival. This is a big fest, and in some sense, a bit of almost a hometown show.
Yeah, it's really cool to be in Ontario at the biggest festival in Ontario, and I got family that's coming out from my hometown of Pembroke, and so that's always great to see them. My wife and I, we live in Tennessee now, and we get Goodlettsville, that's right.
I've tried Goodlettsville.
Yeah, well, you have to come to the Star Cafe and try the fried chicken. We love it. We love living in Goodlettsville. It's been good for us and for our family, and but it's great to play kind of a semi sort of home gig, you know, in Ontario show. And so the people here have just been absolutely amazing. We've been just treated so great. They've been amazing to my family too, getting everybody in. My wife, about right now that while we're doing this, I bet you they're probably pulling up to the gate with their 10-month-old baby, hoping that they're not in a 6-hour line or whatever. And they've assured me that they're gonna walk them right in, and that's just amazing. Like that kind of little stuff means so much to me.
I mean, as a songwriter, I'm always curious. When you're writing, that's got to be like putting your heart out every time.
Yeah. Well, in particular with They Don't Make Them Like That Anymore, I got to give the props to my manager. At the time I recorded that record as just a tribute to my grandparents. I thought that their love story, their 50-plus years of marriage, was just a great country song. I mean, you know, they met each other young, and they, you know, stayed together all this time through no doubt ups and downs in the crazy world that we live in. You know, raised a big family, and my grandfather just turned 80 this year.
Wow.
And I mean, it's not lost on me. I'm 33. I'm a husband and father of 3 myself, but just kind of watching him still open up the car door for my grandmother and help her put her coat on, and just seeing that kind of love that they have for one another, and they can look back at where they're at in their life, at the life that they've built. I'm like, this is a country song, but just how do you write it? You know, how do you write that song that's just honest and real, and that can be shared with everybody? And I really, I thought it was an album cut at first, and my manager said, I think that we have a single here, and what it's done for people, their stories, how they've connected with it personally, what it's done for my career, and have that moment where we won the Single of the Year and they were there, and I got to have that moment and shoot a video in my hometown. It's just been a huge blessing.
Well, you know, I've often wondered, when you write a song, does it start out as something that you go, you know what, I'm sitting down purposely to write a hit?
Well, we definitely sit down to try to write hits. Absolutely. You know, that's what we do for the most part. But every now and then, I mean, still, something comes along where you just feel compelled to write it, and you really don't care whether it's a hit or not. On my new album, there's a track 11, and it was just one of those late night songs, just things I was thinking, things I was feeling. It's called Tears on the Bible, and it's just it's not a party song. It's not something we're gonna, you know, pump our fists in the air to. But I finished the record. I had 10 songs on the record, and I just felt compelled to record this song. I feel like it wasn't complete without it, and it was just sitting on as a work tape, acoustic work tape on my computer, and I'm like, I just felt like I had to do this. I had to go back into the studio, so we went back in and we recorded it. And it's one of those things where I don't care if it doesn't need to be a hit.
Sure.
It was just you know, that's 10 songs for the fans, 1 for me maybe.
Well, the cool thing about this new record is that, see, you can write those kind of songs that tug on the heartstrings, but you write the party jams.
Yeah, well, I like to have a good time. I like to tell people, I mean, the record itself is probably leans a little too heavy on Saturday night and not so much Sunday morning. So I thought that it could use a one Sunday morning, but I thought that actually sums up me too. You know, I've always had one foot in Saturday night, one foot in Sunday morning, and I'm thankful for the grace. You know.
Now, in your writing, is faith an important thing to you?
It wasn't always the case. It's always been there, but we kind of, when we moved to Tennessee, I thought that we moved there for music with my own ambitions, and we got invited out to go to this church, Long Hollow Baptist Church, and was literally the last person that I was the guy in the back, and just I liked the music, and just after, sitting there and listening. I mean, I grew up in a little Lutheran church in my hometown, just like the song says, that my grandpa helped build, and my parents were married in that church. My wife and I were married in that church, but I really didn't have as full of an understanding of my faith as I've gained since moving to the South and going to this church. It's just done amazing things for me personally, and amazing things for my marriage and our family, and what it means to be a husband and a father. And so since the record Life So Far, I've tried to make that a priority somewhere in my music, and hope that my work will be blessed, so to speak, for it. And it's something I've tried not to shy away from sharing with people when asked. I just feel incredibly blessed, and I know that I could not sit here honestly and say that I did it myself, and so I feel like I have, I must acknowledge that.
So what's next? What have you got coming down the pipe? Anything you can share with us?
Yeah, well, I mean, this new album, I mean, it's really new. It just came out about a month ago.
Awesome.
And I actually thought about calling the record Saturday Night, Sunday Morning, but there was, much less Sunday morning than there was Saturday night. So I ended up really struggling with the title for the album, and ended up settling on Everything I Love. I just was thinking about it. I'm like, what is this record? Because as you mentioned, there's party songs, there's stuff that really rocks and we can have fun with, and then there's stuff that's about family and about faith and about home. And so I just said, you know what, this record, if anybody wants to know me, buy this record, because I mean, it's really everything I love. It's fun, it's family, and it's faith, and it is everything I love.